Well, as we started the conversation here today, one of the big red flags for the Kamala Harris campaign right now is the migration of traditional groups away from her campaign and toward Donald Trump. One of those big groups, black voters in America, specifically black men, who are not buying this. And so Barack Obama comes out and wags his finger and lectures black men that they need to do what they're supposed to do and vote for Kamala. And you've had a lot of very negative reaction from a lot of folks. My next guest is a pastor in Detroit. Lorenzo Sewell is at the 180 Church in Detroit. You might remember him praying with Donald Trump earlier this year, made a lot of national headlines. He's with me here today. Zoe, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Steve, for having me here. I'm so excited.
Well, we're Michigan friends and brothers here, and so we have to deliver Michigan, or try, for Donald Trump. And right now, the polling looks good. But I want to focus on this lecturing, this condescension towards black voters as if, hey, you're supposed to vote this way, and if you don't vote this way, there's something wrong with you. You are less than if you don't vote for Kamala Harris. It's not going over particularly well, is it?
Identity politics, that's the only thing that the Democrats have. They have destroyed our city. They have destroyed Detroit. It's the largest voting bloc in Michigan, and people are so upset that Vice President Harris, President Barack Obama will use virtue signaling as if they care about our community. If they cared so much about our community, why can't our children read? If they care so much about our community, why is it that we have poverty? We have the highest illiteracy rates. If they cared so much about our community, why do they have policies that are destructive and that are decimating our community?
And that's true. And look, Pastor, that doesn't make you a black voter or a white voter. It makes you an American voter. You want a better circumstance in the classroom. You want a better circumstance when you pay the bills. You want a better circumstance about the border and all these other problems that we're facing. And when Kamala Harris was asked on The View here a week ago, what would you do differently? Nothing comes to mind. They just want to continue these policies. But worse than what you've just said is this. Kamala Harris in the last 24 or 48 hours saying that there'll be $20,000 for black entrepreneurs who start a business. Not just American entrepreneurs, but specifically black. Oh, by the way, we're going to talk about reparations again, which comes up about every 4 years. And they throw that and dangle that around until they can get through the election and forget all about it again. It's like, how many times are they going to try to use the same thing, go to the same well, and throw the same nonsense out there before they realize, look, nobody's buying this anymore?
The Bible says we will know the truth, Steve, and the truth will set us free. And the truth is, Vice President Harris doesn't have $20,000 to give. That's our money that she's taxing us, then lending it to us. She thinks that black men are political infants, and we will not have it anymore. The Democratic Party, they are politically impotent. They believe that we're going to believe this propaganda. They're using the media. They're using these narratives to try to create a paradigm that, quite frankly, is not working. She's trying to say that she's going to legalize marijuana as if all black men smoke marijuana. She had an opportunity to have policies. President Barack Obama, he could have had policies that will give black men a hand up and not a hand out. We don't need their handouts. Only thing we need is policies that work. And that's what President Donald Trump is doing. That's why we're going with President Donald Trump, because we know that he opened up the Small Business Administration for black men and black businesses in a historical way. We know that he gave those who were in prison an opportunity to be set free through the First Step Act. He has policies. And the only thing the Democrats can do is use his personality and use his past to try to propagandize the mind of black people. But enough is enough. We can see right through their lies. And we know that come November 5th, we are going to see a landslide.
Why do you think that they go to things like marijuana? I mean, I've seen the push for this in the past. It always includes black folks. Oh, smoke weed. It's going to be great. We're going to legalize it. I find that offensive, and I'm a white guy. I mean, I just find it ridiculous that they kind of push this. Like, well, if you smoke weed, hey, we're your guy, we're your gal. Why do they push that on the black community? What is the point there?
Steve, it's the racist idea that all black men smoke weed and all black people smoke weed. It's the racist idea that all black people are athletes. That's why she brought Magic Johnson here to Flint. It's the racist idea that all black women want to be Megan Stallion. It's the racist idea we are going to listen to Charlemagne, the false god about politics. Steve, look at it like this. If I had a heart condition, you're not going to take me to a mechanic. And Black America has a heart condition whereby we are dying because of Democratic ran cities, and we need someone who's a heart surgeon like President Donald Trump that can come and give us policies that will work. They actually think that if they entertain us, they actually think if they bring athletes to us, that we're going to listen to them as it pertains to politics. It's insulting. I'm so offended that they would be willing to try to give us heart surgery with a mechanic.
Let me ask you this. I mean, Donald Trump often gets smeared and labeled by the left, by Democrats, by Kamala Harris specifically, as being a racist. You've gotten a chance to get to know Donald Trump. You've spent time with him in close, intimate conversations. When you hear that, what's your response? What's your reaction?
Steve, I do my best to try to contain myself because the Bible says that if a man can contain his spirit, he's greater than a man that can take a city. It's interesting. Donald Trump wasn't a racist when he was funding Rainbow Push, which is Jesse Jackson's organization. He wasn't a racist when he was helping Al Sharpton. He was not a racist when Oprah Winfrey said he should run for president. He was not a racist when he funded so many black businesses. He was not a racist until he became a Republican. Before that, Donald J. Trump was not a racist. I know him personally. He's opened up the door of opportunity to me to preach the gospel to millions all over the world. And that is the definition of anti-racism. Him giving an opportunity for a black man like me to be able to preach the gospel.
What are you doing on the we got about a minute left here, Pastor. What are you doing on the streets of Detroit and Southeast Michigan? Are you knocking on doors? Are you talking to people? What are you doing to push people out to make sure they vote before? Because they can vote right now with mail-in ballots. They'll have 9 days of early in-person. And then, of course, November 5th is Election Day when they can all vote. What are you doing to move the needle?
Every single Friday, we do something called Souls to the Polls, Steve, where we teach our community to be political scientists. We debunk the lies of the media. We are raising up spiritual revivalists. We are going door to door every day with 12 black men right here in the great city of Detroit.
Well, that's just excellent work. Pastor Zoe, I appreciate all the work you're doing, and the passion you bring to it is terrific, my friend. Thank you for being here. We'll talk to you again. Only 20 days to go. We're getting close.
Thanks, Steve.